Ninth chapter of the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Second canto is titled, ninth chapter is titled
Saitikasis.
Saitikasis, the Lord's version. And we are in this Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam. That means the 4 verses which summarize the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. How many of these verses have we covered till now? One. We covered it the last 2 sessions. But if we start at the beginning of this chapter, then we see that Lord Brahma is now tasked with and he doesn't know what he has to do. He's just looking around, and what he's seeing is darkness. Maybe in his dark. And then he hears 2 syllables. Tapa, among austerity. And then he performed the austerity for a long time. And as Namru Prabhu mentioned last time, and what we had discussed earlier also, this is not the normal austerity. This was devotional austerity. And by this austerity, the Lord became very pleased over a period of thousands of years. So here one principle we get to learn for our own spiritual life. None of us have to perform austerities to do and serve creation. The Lord hasn't told any of us ki koi kuch bhi creation karo. We have to reduce our creations so that we get out of here. But the principle is the principle of patience. Over a period of long time, Lord Brahma performed these austerities, and then the Lord appeared. So, those of you who have read Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami in the second verse, one of the principles that he gives is Dhairya, patience, Utsaha, enthusiasm, Nishchay, determination, and Dhairya, patience. So, Srila Prabhupada writes, this is a very important virtue in the life of a devotee. What is the most important, and what is one of the important things? Patience. Patience with? Patience with the process. That the process will work if I just go on. Like Srila Prabhupada gives the example that once a woman conceives, then she just has to be patient. And in due course of time, a child will come out. But if after 1 month she says, kuch ho nahi raha hai, that will work. Or if we go on a diet or we do some exercise, and if after day 1 we weigh ourselves. In fact, when you go on a diet or you start exercise, initial first few days you actually put on some weight. I don't know why, but that happens. And you will say, ye kya ho raha hai? Be patient, right? So just like in material life we have to be patient, in spiritual life also we have to be patient. If we are doing our thing properly, in due course of time, the method, the process will act. So, Srila Prabhupada in the purports to this one of the verses, this was one of the verses that we discussed, where Brahma says, where the Lord tells Brahma, I create this cosmos by such penance, I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it by the same energy. Therefore, the potency is penance only. And we discussed for our spiritual life this wonderful purpose, Prabhupada writes, I will read it again. This is that first class when we discussed, we read this. Then the last class when we discussed the next verses, we still read this. And today when we are discussing further, we are still reading this. Because when I read this, in this reading, I must have read it 2-3 times earlier. But when I read it in this reading, it was very, very inspirational for me. For having some better standards of my spiritual life. So we've read this 2-3 times already here in this class. We'll read it again, and please pay attention. In executing penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead, and must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end. Even for material prosperity and name and fame, one has to undergo severe types of penances. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in the material world. Why then should there not be severe types of penances for the perfection of devotional service? An easygoing life and attainment of perfection and transcendental realization cannot go together. Repeat. An easygoing life and attainment of perfection and transcendental realization cannot go together. The Lord is more clever than any living entity. If he wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service, the order is received from the Lord either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master, and to execute that order however painstaking, is the severe type of penance. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. We have to perform austerity for our spiritual life. Just like all of us work hard in our material lives, we sleep less when we have to ensure things are done in our material life. We eat less sometimes, we work hard for our material life. We've done that when we were students, we are doing it even now. Why should, Prabhupada is writing, why should spiritual life be easygoing? Material life is not easygoing. You work hard, why should spiritual life be easygoing? So someone who painstakingly performs their spiritual life, gets up early in the morning, chants nicely, reads books every day, can say no to things of this world which are not required, then, Prabhupada writes, is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. There are three types of living entities. One are Nitya Siddhas. Nitya Siddhas means they are eternally liberated. When they come to the material world also, they come just to further the Lord's mission, like Prabhupada and great exalted acharyas. Second are Sadhana Siddhas. Sadhana Siddhas are people who are wanting to perfect their life through the process of sadhana, like all of us. We all have to chant every day. We all have to go through the whole process of sadhana, then our heart gets purified. And a third type, which are Kripa Siddhas. Those who are going to achieve perfection by the mercy of the Lord and the mercy of the devotees. So all of us need both these things. We need to perform our sadhana very nicely, that's what we do. But we do it in such a way that it attracts the mercy, the kripa of the Lord also and of the devotees. And then what happens is, our track is faster, our train moves faster on the track. Because we know what goes on in our bed when we chant. And thankfully only we and Krishna know, nobody else knows. And therefore, we get all this respect from devotees. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji. If they know what's going on in our mind, then we'll like, इसको पता हरे कृष्णा बोले अबे क्या क्या चलता है इसके मन में इस पे मन में चलता है वो तो ठीक है मन में चलता है चैंटिंग के वक्त दैट्स द आयरनी दिन भर मन में चलता है दैट्स द माइंड सो माइंड इज अ पैथेटिक एंटिटी But you might chanting. So we know कि हमारे साधना के बल पे क्या हुआ. But we have to do that. And when we do that nicely, painstakingly, then Kripa comes. The Lord and the devotees' mercy comes. And that makes everything move faster. So for that, we should be ready to perform all these things. And what is our austerity? We are not told to go in summer and sit in fire. We are not told to go in winter and sit in a cold water. We are not told to not eat for days and days together. Apna to Prabhupada called it the kitchen religion. Whatever is there, not there, you always remember प्रसाद में क्या था यात्रा में ये था यात्रा में कहाँ गए आप guarantee you none of you will be able to in order say which of the places we went to in Vrindavan. Maybe some of you without checking the phone. But you may remember what we ate. So we don't have to do any of those austerities. But we have to do this austerity. Get up early in the morning. Get up at 4, get up at 5, not later than that. Say no to mundane entertainment. Read Prabhupada's book. Say no to mundane association. Associate with devotees. Perform services like food distribution in this month. It's something of an austerity. Some people really love it. For some it is something of an austerity. But to do it, we have to do it for the pleasure of the Lord, and then the mercy comes. So this was the first half of this chapter, that devotional austerity has to be performed, and our austerity is all these things. The next few verses, when the Lord appears in front of Brahma and the Lord asks Brahma, I am very pleased with you ask benedictions. Then Brahma, because he is tasked with the function of creation, He's not asking the Lord for any flowery benedictions. He's asking, please tell me more about creation. Please tell me how to do this. So he's actually, his benediction, the reward which the Lord is offering him, Brahma is asking in a way to make his service better. Like if some devotee gets pleased with us and they say, yeah, I'm really happy with you, ask me something, ask me some blessing. That's some exalted devotee, sometimes they say like that. So then if we ask something that, please bless me in a way that my service improves even more, they become very pleased. So Brahma is asking the Lord for those things. You please tell me in detail, आपने कैसे creation किया? You please tell me what am I supposed to do to make it better? How can I please you more in this service? How can I make my service even better for you? So these are the things Brahma asked. And then Brahma stated something which we discussed in this verse. Where Brahma says, "O my Lord, the unborn, you have shaken hands with me, just as a friend does with a friend, as if in equal position. I shall be engaged in the creation of different types of living entities, and I shall be occupied in your service. I shall have no perturbation. But I pray that all this may not give rise to pride and the by the supreme." Brahma tells the Lord that, after you, I am going to be the next most important person in this universe. Right? After Vishnu, everyone goes to Brahma. So Brahma is telling him, since you want to give me a benediction, you please give me this benediction. And I always remember that I'll be the secondary creator. We discussed so many times, Brahma is the secondary creator. Who's the primary creator? Krishna. So he's telling Krishna that please don't allow me to ever forget that. And don't allow me to get proud. There should be no pride. Because now after this, everyone is going to consider me as the greatest personality in this universe. Everything is going to come to me. Everyone is going to glorify me. Wherever I go, they'll be glorifying me. They are all going to be dependent on me. I have to set everything for them, and obviously they will have so much gratitude for me. Please don't let me forget at that time that everything actually has come from you. That when I opened my eyes and I could not understand where I am, at that time you instructed me. And now you are blessing me with knowledge about how to do everything. Let me not ever forget that. This is the Ashirwad that Brahma is asking. So, this is the mood of a devotee or Brahma. That's why we are in the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahma is our Acharya. It is for qualities like these that Brahma is our Acharya. We should always remember in our spiritual life, we should never ever be proud. We should never be proud. As time progresses and if we stick around, there will be younger devotees who will come, who will look upon us and with awe and reverence, they will tell us, Prabhuji, Mataji, they will praise us for some advice that we will give them. We should always remember actually work on it. We should never feel any pride that I am able to. Hare Krishna. Kirtan Madhaprabhu, welcome. All the way from Pune. We should never ever feel proud. We should know only Krishna and I know what's happening. What's going on inside my mind, inside my heart, only Krishna and I know. And the devotees, the honor that they are giving me or the respect that they are giving me is actually meant for the devotees who taught me and the devotees who I am following and to my spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, to the Acharyas. And who the hell am I to claim any worship or any respect? This was Brahma's mood and this is the mood that is expected from all of us also. Not having any pride. Because there's the English saying, pride cometh before the fall. You have seen in Bhagavata what happened to Indra. When Indra became proud, he was brought down. Multiple times Indra became proud and multiple times he was brought down. We know the story of Govardhan very well. So many other past lives also Indra is brought down. When Padi Maharaj became the king of heaven, Indra was brought down because of his pride. So if we become proud in our spiritual life, material life no one is talking about. There's absolutely no reason to be proud in our material life. Because Narottam says, in Kali Yuga, if a householder can just maintain a family of 4 and keep them fed and ensure they don't beat the hell out of each other, that person will be considered very great in Kali Yuga. So whatever we are able to manage in our material life is nothing. We are just कचरे को कहाँ संभाल रहे हैं, things like that. Our material lives. But in our spiritual life also we should not feel proud. इतने साल हो गए हैं मैं कहीं बाहर खाया नहीं है, इतने साल हो गए हैं मैं कहीं बाहर घूमने नहीं गया हूँ, इतने साल हो गए हैं मैं रेगुलर से मंदिर आता हूँ, इतने साल हो गया हर रोज़ सुबह 4 बजे उठता हूँ, इतने साल हो गए मैं बाहर की दुनिया से नाका पार दिया है. What's the use of that? You start thinking like that, start down. So, taking guidance all the way from the top, from Brahma, we understand that we should never ever be proud, and if we are humble, opposite of pride is humility, then you will attract the mercy of the Lord more and more. Okay? So these were the 2 main verses we discussed in the last 2 sessions when we were discussing this. In the last 2 sessions we discussed the first verse of Chatushloki Bhagavatam, which was verse number 33, which this one. So we'll repeat this and then we'll recite the next one and then we'll have a short discussion, because this 34th verse is also very, very philosophical. So that's why we announced in the beginning, all of those of you who came during the Kirtan, before the Kirtan we announced that probably this Kirtan is going to be the most interesting part of the session today, because get ready for some philosophy. Let's chant verse 33. Ahmeva samevagre pas ke bagre tayadhyat sajasatparan satasat shadam yadetachas ispashishteta sokshaham. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of God, and after annihilation what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. So this is, now when we say Chatushloki Bhagavatam, we mean that these 4 verses summarize the entire Bhagavatam. So if this is 25% of the summary of Bhagavatam. If this verse is 25% of the summary of Bhagavatam, what does that tell us about the goal of Bhagavatam? From this verse. From this verse, if this is 25% of Bhagavatam, what does it say about the goal of Bhagavatam? What is the Srimad Bhagavatam trying to imprint in us? Yes, I'm true.
Lord Krishna is everything. He is a creator, maintainer, and he is an existence.
Krishna has always been there, is always there, he'll always continue to be there. There's no doubt about that. So therefore, all the 12 cantos of Bhagavatam, this is one very important point which comes across. That's why it's called one of the 4 verses that summarizes the entire Bhagavatam. So we should know, when we are going through Bhagavatam or in life, Krishna is always there. Krishna is always there. What is the verse from the Bhagavad Gita who can say on the 2nd chapter where Krishna tells a similar thing to Arjuna, giving examples of kings? Very nice. Krishna tells Arjuna, there was never a time that I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, and never in the future shall any of us cease to exist. So Krishna is emphasizing this point to whom? Brahma. Very Brahma. First, Ravi, I will go now and you will be there. And a lot of things are happening. We know how big is the day of Brahma? Yeah. And the lifetime of Brahma is 311 trillion 40 billion. How much?
340.
अभी क्या होता है हमारे स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में कभी कभी दे हैव मोमेंट्स ऑफ इंस्पिरेशन. It can be a class, it can be a kirtan, it can be a purport, it can be an interaction, it can be a service, it can be a Dham visit. And we get super inspired. We've all gone through that. Hopefully. And after a while, what at that time we feel, okay, chalo, now I've sorted. Oh yeah, I understood everything, I'll go on. And after a while, what a dip aata hai? No? And again, they're like that. And again, Krishna is telling Brahma, this one thing you cannot forget. I was always there. I am there. Always continue to be there. So this also refutes Mayavad. Krishna is saying, I will always continue to be there and you will always continue to be there. Where is the question of merging? Where is the question of losing individuality? Right? So this is the first verse of the Chatushloki. Now today's verse is the 34th verse. Please repeat. Rite ritam yat pratiyeta Piritam yat pratiyeta Piritam yat pratiyeta Pratiyeta chakmani Napati Mari pratiyeta chasmari Pratiyeta smadi Vidyadatmanovaya Vidyadatmanovaya Bhaso yathatama Yatha bhaso yakatama Eritam yat pratiyeta Pratiyeta chatmani Naprati Satyu Vidyadatmano Maya Abhaso yathakama. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, it has no reality. No, it has my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. What I will do is I will just give you the summary of this verse first and then we will discuss so that we know what we are trying to discuss. Want a chair? The first point from this verse that Sri Prabhupada mentioned in his purport is that the material world is real but illusory when seen as independent of Krishna. Because in the translation, what did Krishna say? If it is without me, it is doesn't appear to be real. So the material world is real. Like a Mayavadi said, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. So Srila Prabhupada says Jagat is not Mithya, it is there. We can see it, we can feel it, it's there. But it is illusory. It is illusory. It's there, it's not false, but it is illusory. So the material world is real, but illusory when seen as independent of Krishna. The second point that is mentioned in this verse is the Supreme Lord is the source of all energies, spiritual and material. This is not something new, we know this.
Yes.
What are the two verses from Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, which say this? Bhumirapa nanavayu khammano buddhirevacha ankariti amme bhidna prakriti rashtada. These verses talk about the material element. Apareyasi daspanyam prakriti vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabhao yedam gadya tejakat. This talks about the spiritual. I've heard that sometimes after you leave, even if you've been a decent devotee, sometimes At the steps of the spiritual world, they ask some shlokas. You please learn. And that if you fail, that it will be very unfortunate. You have to come back down. Many of us may not be there. So, learn shlokas. Learn shlokas. It's so nice, those who know, they feel very confident. Prabhupada said it's like a lawyer quoting sections of the law. We don't agree, no, sir, but wo to aisa hai, waisa hai. But when he says, in this, section this, section number this, subsection this happened, and then he quotes case studies. And also in Messrs. This versus Mr. This, judgment was this, therefore this, and therefore what I am saying is true. Prabhupada said we should know the scripture like a lawyer knows a law book. It's not very difficult to learn shlokas, even at our age. We may think bachcho ke liye aasan hai. It's not very difficult for us also. It's just a matter of repetition. Whatever you repeat, it gets fixed in the mind. We may never have studied Sanskrit, doesn't matter. Now there are so many songs which we heard sometime, but they are still in our head. 20-year, 30-year-old songs. Is it not?
Yeah.
Abhi wo sab aaye kyun man rahe? Your old favorite songs are probably going in your mind. When we started the session, they were playing some music outside. This is marriage season. Why not, if you learn so many shlokas go in your mind. And when you are randomly doing random work, some shloka comes in your mind. Very nice. It's Krishna consciousness. So in those two verses that 4 of us recited, Krishna says this, that I am the source of both material and spiritual energies. Also about Umetrubhu recited, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartade iti matva bhajate ma bhura rava samrita. I am the source of all emanations. Everything is coming from me. And the last learning from this verse is that connection with the Lord dispels illusion. So if you see, there's a flow here, there's a pattern. Material world independent of Krishna is illusory. Krishna is the source of material and spiritual world, and connection with Krishna dispels illusion. So illusion is because of independence of Krishna. And why is it illusion? Because Krishna is the source of both material and spiritual energies, therefore nothing is independent of Krishna. What is the meaning of illusion?
Does not exist.
Something which is not there. Kya?
Yes.
So, things independent of Krishna are illusion because, point 2, Krishna is the source of material and spiritual energies. And then when we reconnect ourselves to Krishna, the illusion is gone. Because then, we don't see anything, even in the material world, independent of Krishna. And that is reality. समझे आप लोग? नहीं? Again? Yes. Can everyone explain this? Take a test. Should we repeat again?
Yes.
We all are very scared of tests. Unfortunately, we've come through this pathetic education system which freaks us out of exams. And the only mark of we knowing is an exam. And that is still there for us now. Let's, after reading this, now can all of you read this once on your own?
I hope someone cleans this after every class.
Otherwise, there's an illusion that it's clean water. Okay? Now let us read the translation. आप यहाँ पे ही हैं, आपको Zoom पे रहने की जरूरत नहीं है, जो भी है. Yeah. Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. Whatever appears to be of any value, Anything valuable. Now let's think of valuable things in our life, material life. We cannot make a list. Certain valuable things in my life. One list. That includes relationships, that includes assets, that includes knowledge, that includes the body. Body is probably the most valuable. Therefore, in our one-time introductory session, we bang upon that point कि scientists say body is a bag of chemicals. ये जितने chemicals हमने analyze करके लाले शाह प्रभु ने रखे हैं, हम सब वही चीज़ repeat करते हैं as if हमने किया है. And we say इतना gram phosphorus, इतना magnesium, इतना iron, इतना water, ये वो, and the price comes to 200 rupees. And then he asks, is this your value? You know, I mean something beyond the body. So this is our list of valuable things. Krishna is saying, if any of these things जो हमने अपना list बनाया अभी, we all had a list. It included our property, it included so many things, jewelry or everything. If those things are without relation to me, they have no value. They are illusory. Know it as my illusory energy. That reflection which appears to be in darkness. Reflection कभी आता है? When there is light and there is also some darkness, if it's only light, there will never be a reflection. If there is an object placed, that object is covering some part of the light and therefore there is a shadow. Yeah. So a reflection happens when there is some absence of light. So that reflection, Krishna is saying here, is the illusory energy. Now we will go through this in detail. Prabhupada has given, those of you who read the purport, he's given 3-4 analogies, and in the next 10 minutes we'll discuss those. But before that, we again come to this which we read. The material world is real but illusory, but seen independent of Krishna. So this we all understood? Yes. The Supreme Lord is the source of both energies. Therefore it is illusory.
Yes.
Abhi now, if your parents own whatever you are in right now, for example, your home, your parents own, your FDs or whatever you had, actually your parents only gave you. And whatever knowledge we have also we learned. And then if we think that all this is mine, especially when they are still there, सब कुछ उनके ही नाम पे है. The flat is in your father's name, and you're like going around saying, I have a flat. All the FDs, he's intelligent person. So till he dies, he doesn't want to put anything in your name. So everything is in his name. And then I am thinking, boss, I have 2 crores FDs. I have a home of 4 crores. I have this, I have that. If I think that all of this I have independent of my father or mother, then that's my Brahm. I go to the bank, do karo, nikaro. Okay, so here take the form, sign. I sign it nicely, put fancy signature and give, and then she checks it and says, आपका तो नाम है ही नहीं इसमें. कि FD में तो आपका नाम ही नहीं है. इसका नाम लेके आओ, इसका signature लेके आओ, and then वही, हाँ. So then that becomes reality. Okay, this FD belongs to him and not to me. So similarly, Krishna is saying, everything is Bhumi, Rapa, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, earth, water, fire, air, ether, my property, my everything, my body also is all water, fire, air, ether, and mind, intelligence. So if all those things are Bhinna, Prakriti, Ashtada, my external energies, they are mine, how can they be yours? If it is Krishna's, how can it be mine? So that's the illusion. And connection with the Lord. Okay, yes, Krishna, this is yours. I understood now. This is all yours. Everything is yours. It's your mercy. You're allowing you to utilize it. I'm going to utilize it in your service. The illusion is gone. That's knowledge. That's reality. Okay, very simple. Not very difficult. Let's see, Prabhupada gives some analogies about illusion. Prabhupada says, dark room, rope, mistaken it for a snake. अंधेरा रूम है, एक रस्सी है, टच करने का हमें क्या लगा? साफ है. What is the illusion in this?
Succeeding rope has reverse that way.
The rope is actually there. The rope is not the illusion. there is something which feels like this, which is called a snake. That's also not an illusion. There is actually a snake and it feels like this. What's the illusion?
Thinking that the office.
My wrong perception. My wrong perception of this to be something else is the illusion. Now link it to this verse. What is the illusion?
Ticket and these sticks belongs to each, is that right?
Instead of material world seems independent, but it's deeply connected with Krishna. When I see the world independent of Krishna, that is the illusion. That is called as Maya. That which is not. So, everything seen independent of Krishna. Just like everything is in the name of your father. If you see everything independent of your father, that concept doesn't exist because everything is in his name. Now, just because the law is not like this, हमने जब घर register किया है, every register किया, the primary holder is supreme personality of Godhead and we are the secondary holder. ऐसा नहीं है, तो we forget. And we remember, what did Brahma ji pray?
Make me remember that.
Don't ever let me forget that I am the secondary creator. You are the primary creator. Don't let me forget that, because that will lead to what? I don't want to be proud, because pride will lead to fell down. So hence, it is so important to know that whatever I have, smallest thing to whatever I consider big. Now whatever I consider big also is irony, because from other people in this material world only, for them this will be the, hey, क्या है? कितना poor है ये? मेरे पास मुंबई में 2 घर है, मेरे पास बैंक में 8 figures के FDs हैं, and then I go in front of Mukesh Ambani and he be like, क्या है ये? This is like, my chutta for the month. So even in the material world, it is relative. What I consider to be my biggest achievement, for somebody else, it will be like, you put all your educational achievements in front of somebody who's like a Nobel Prize laureate, or to in front of Elon Musk or somebody like that. तो क्या हो यार? मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी में सेकंड आप क्या हो? Okay, you went to IIT, so, and this is just in on this planet. Now, if we expand the horizon, then all these Jadalok, Tapalok, Maharlok, Satyalok, they are thinking, what is he proud of? Why is she so proud? Someone is proud of their looks, their body, for their beauty, and then the Gandharvas at the upside of that, yeah, यहाँ एंट्री भी नहीं मिलेगा. I look that side. No. It's all relative. It's all relative. And all of this is still in the material world. And all of the beauty of the Apsaras, the Gandharvas, and every achievement of Donald Trump or Elon Musk or Ambani or anything, even Brahma, is ultimately all coming from Krishna. Krishna says in the Gita, Bhutir Bhutri Madam Asmi Tejas Tejasvinamaham Balam Balavatam Jaham. Intelligence is coming from me, knowledge is coming from me, strength is coming from me. Everything is coming from Krishna. And then I feel it's for my enjoyment, it's for my endeavor, mere mehnat se hua. That is the illusion. That is the illusion. Prabhupada writes in the purport, in any stage of the cosmic manifestation, its appearance, its sustenance, and its growth. Yakapati Prabhu, welcome. Unfortunately, it's not 6:30. Yakapati Prabhu, message free. I will come at 6:30 today. 7:55. No problem. In any stage of the cosmic manifestation, its appearance, its sustenance, its growth, its interactions of different energies, its deterioration and its disappearance, all has its basic relation with the existence of the personality of Godhead. And as such, whatever there is forgetfulness of this prime relation to the Lord, and whenever things are accepted as real without being related to the Lord, that conception is called a product of the illusory energy of the Lord. Because nothing can exist without the Lord. It should be known that the illusory energy is also an energy of the Lord. The right conclusion of dovetailing everything in relationship with the Lord is called Yog Maya, or the energy of union. And the wrong conception of detaching a thing from its relationship with the Lord is called Lord's Devi Maya or Maha Maya. Both the Mayas also have connections with the Lord because nothing can exist without being related to Him. So what your Prabhupada is saying, even this tendency to forget Krishna and to lord it over, that energy, Mahamaya, is also Krishna's energy. That is Durga Devi testing us. Okay? You're feeling Krishna conscious? Wait. Are you still okay? Okay, wait. And after a point, she leaves us alone. But till then, we have to go on. Patiently go on with determination. And like a horse. No risk taking. Be very nicely situated in association of devotees, and then this Mahamaya doesn't trouble us. But even that is an energy of Krishna. So basically, if you want to summarize this whole purport, which I hope you got attentively, into one line, what will that be? Okay, everything belongs to Krishna. If you want to put it in the negative sense, what will you say? Nothing exists independent of Krishna. Even this illusory energy which makes us forget Krishna is Krishna's energy. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada then was once praying and a disciple asked him, Srila Prabhupada, what are you praying for? Prabhupada said, praying that I never come under the influence of Maya. How can you say that, Prabhupada? You are such a great Acharya. Maya is also an energy of Krishna. And so therefore, this energy of Krishna can only be defeated by the spiritual energy of Krishna. And therefore, we have to have strong sadhana every day. Never take it lightly. इतने दिन से अच्छा साधना चल रहा था, एक दिन थोड़ा माला कम हुआ चलेगा. That's like entry point for Maya. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a small crack in a dam. इतना सा भी crack आ गया और immediately उसको repair नहीं किया तो क्या होगा? Eventually it would become bigger, and that tiny crack, if left unattended, has the ability to destroy the dam and destroy all these so much engineering work that was done. So we should never allow our spiritual life to go down. Kabhi ho bhi gaya, immediately interact with devotees, get back on track, and try not to make that mistake away. Srila Prabhupada writes, when a scientist discovers something impressive, to the ignorant mass of people, the common man, without inquiry, accepts such a discovery as wonderful. Electricity, wonderful. Gravity, wonderful. But the intelligent man is not struck with wonder by such discoveries. He gives all credit to the person who created the wonderful brain of the scientist. A common man is also struck with wonder by the wonderful action of material nature and gives all credit to the cosmic manifestation. The learned Krishna conscious person, however, knows well that behind the cosmic manifestation is the brain of Krishna. So nothing is independent of Krishna. Prabhupada gives one more analogy of a mirror. Now, if you all remove your mobile phones, you should remove your mobile phones right now and you switch on your selfie camera. Please do it. And you take a selfie of your nice face. Okay? Now, tonight, when you have to brush your teeth, where are you going to brush? Can you brush to this picture? When you feel after half an hour, when all of you loudly start talking and we are serving prasad, can you put prasad in this picture of your face? No, we are all laughing. क्या कर रहे हैं? बुरी ऐसे होगा ब्रश थोड़ी वो हम लोग मैं तो करने भी नहीं वाला ब्रश वैसे भी करूँगा कहूँ क्या करूँगा. Please brush your teeth at night. That's more important than morning brushing. Unfortunately, by laughing at this, But when we think, I want to be peaceful, I want some comfort, I want some happiness, we are giving happiness and comfort and peace to the body. And the body is just a reflection, because the body is not to be our. We are the soul. Now we laugh that खाना थोड़ी पिक्चर को खिलाएंगे, ब्रश थोड़ी पिक्चर को करेंगे, कल सुबह बाल थोड़ी पिक्चर के इसमें बनाएंगे. But when I think of, okay, let me relax, what do I think of? Let me stretch my leg, let me body. It's all the body. Yes?
Yes.
Now the first thing, actually I will be relaxed when I put on some kirtan. Actually I'll be relaxed when I chant an extra hour. Actually I'll be relaxed if I hear Srila Prabhupada's voice. Actually I'll be relaxed if I take darshan. Even if I have home, I'll switch on, let's go on the YouTube and take darshan of various places. And that will make me relaxed. Because that would actually, that is what will make the soul relax. That is what will give peace to the soul. That is what will give happiness to the soul. But we are just looking at the reflection. And the reflection is nothing but, we discussed, the reflection comes where there is darkness. And because of darkness, there is a shadow or there is a reflection. The way a camera works or a mirror works is like that. Light is reflected off it. So, we should understand from this that if we are seeking happiness or relaxation independent of Krishna consciousness, that's an illusion. That happiness will not last long. That relaxation will ultimately make us more troubled in life. The reflection of the object is not real, it's the object which is real. अभी आपने अपना फोटो लिया, that photo is not you. You are still here. That photo is just a reflection of you. That's how a camera works. Light is reflected, and that is of no value except to remember कि हाँ मेरे क्लास में नेक्स्ट सैटरडे अगर आपको याद करना है क्या हुआ था, वो फोटो देख लेंगे तो हाँ कुछ तो सेल्फी लिया था, कुछ तो हाँ ऐसे ऐसे हुआ था. But he can't replace that with you. Prabhupada writes, energy is a reflection of the energetic. And therefore the material energy or everything here is a reflection of what is there in the spiritual world. It's a reflection of Krishna's energy. Reflection of the Lord's spiritual energy. So therefore let's not get carried away by the reflection and go on again and again. Let us become more serious to understand that nothing independent of Krishna will bring me happiness. This concept should be fit in our head. Nothing independent of Krishna can give me peace of mind or can give me happiness. And therefore, all my recreation should also be within Krishna consciousness. I want to go out, I go up to the temple, or I go up with devotees, or I want to go for a vacation, I go to the Jaipur Yatra in February, or I go to the Badrinath Temple in May, or I go with devotees. If I want to enjoy eating something, I eat only Krishna Prasad. Or to listen to something, I listen only to Kirtan. All these things. I want to see something very beautiful, I will do it Radha Ras Bihari. And in this way, this concept should get fit in my head. Next time, tomorrow morning, if I am getting some sort of urge to enjoy myself independent of Krishna, I should remember this, that nothing is independent of Krishna. And if I'm trying to, what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to enjoy the reflection. I'm trying to brush my picture. I'm trying to feel my picture. It has absolutely no significance. It's not going to bring me what I want. What I want will only come in relationship with Krishna. Yes? Any questions on this? Yes, Pramaduvyato.
So I did understand at the start when you were talking about the concept of reflection. You were saying that there's supposed to be some darkness for the reflection. Are they backers?
That's the illusion. So that is this material world. It is a reflection of the spiritual world. But it has some... This material world was there because they wanted to enjoy independently of Krishna. So that is the darkness in our life, that we wanted to enjoy independently of Krishna, and therefore this material world is there. Now here also we are trying to enjoy independently of Krishna, thinking that all this is mine. Whereas all this is not mine. It is belonging to Krishna. So that, Srila Prabhupada calls that as, if you see an object in the mirror, that object in the mirror is not actually the object. So these things that I think will give me happiness cannot give me happiness. There is a reflective of what will actually give me happiness. Like Prabhupada says, love and lust. Lust is the perverted reflection of genuine love. Whatever we see in this material world is not genuine love. It's a perverted reflection of that. So therefore, whenever there is pervertedness, that is ignorance or illusion, and that is given as darkness. Because we are trying to do it independently of Krishna. We'll read something from Srila Prabhupada that will make it more clear. Any other question? Want to ask after we read? No one can make a solution of darkness, of ignorance, simply by the reflection of light. Similarly, no one can come out of material existence simply by the reflected light of the common man. One has to receive the light from the original light itself. The reflection of sunlight in the darkness is unable to drive out the darkness. But the sunlight outside the reflection can drive out the darkness completely. In darkness, no one can see the things in a room. Therefore, a person in darkness is afraid of snakes and scorpions, although there may not be any such things. But in the light, the things in the room can be clearly seen, and the fear of snakes and scorpions is at once removed. Therefore, one has to take shelter of the light of the Lord, as in the Bhagavad Gita or its Srimad Bhagavatam, and not the reflective personalities who have no touch with the Lord. So Prabhupada is saying, if it's a dark room, if you just take a reflection of the sunlight, it's not going to dissipate the darkness. Or to dissipate darkness, you actually let sunlight come in. So, whatever we are trying to enjoy, which is independent of Krishna, that's just a reflection of real enjoyment, which is in connection with Krishna. And that is when the illusion goes away. So, the analogy here of sunlight and darkness. When there is sunlight, there cannot be darkness. But if the sunlight is somewhere blocked, then a dark spot is created. That's how a shadow is created. If I am standing there and the shadow is there, the shadow is not me. It's a reflection of me. Right? And if I move in a certain way, that shadow goes away from there. But till I am there and I am blocking the sun, there will always be some shadow. Long, short, front, back, like that. So till this material world is there and I am trying to enjoy independently of Krishna, that reflective enjoyment will always be there. But in this material world, when I get this concept here, nothing is independent of Krishna. And therefore, I start using it in Krishna's service. Then that's real enjoyment. That's reality. Then that's no longer illusion. No second question?
It's a very weird question too. Because it comes from the example that you gave about how everything is of the Father, FDs and all. And we may think that it's mine. Now, the thing is that I may accept that it's a follower of my Father. I may still enjoy it because He has given it to me. And I may still agree that it is yours, but I may still enjoy it because you have given it to me. So, here the Lord says, if you see everything without my relation, then that's not reality, that's a illusion. But I may still see everything in relationship to Krishna and I may still use it for me.
So a genuine devotee, once he sees everything in relationship with Krishna, will obviously engage in devotional service. Prabhupada gives this example, even in the father and the son. Now, if I accept it all belongs to my father, then obviously I will use it also for my father. And then my father will tell me, okay, yeah, this you use. And if I use it in that way, I'll actually be happy. Even if I think, okay, this is my father, but what you said, then that is still not, it doesn't make it perfect. Till I understand, yes, it belongs to my father, and it is actually, because it belongs to him, it's meant for his satisfaction, it's meant for his enjoyment. And then if I use that for my father, then I will actually be peaceful and happy because I'm using it for the right source. And then if I get something, then that is my rightful share. So similarly, a devotee, now we are not armchair philosophers. It belongs to Krishna, but I use it. We are not talking about that. Here what we are saying is genuine devotees who will then understand if it all belongs to Krishna, I have to use it in Krishna's service. And in that understanding, that is called as devotional service. Prabhupada gives the example of Ambrish Maharaj, and he quotes all those verses, Savay Mana Krishna Badar Vintayo Vasamsi Vaikutta Puradu Aryane, whole verse. Where he shows how Ambrish Maharaj, once he understood everything belongs to Krishna, is utilizing all his senses and everything around him in Krishna's service. And that is bringing him pleasure. It's bringing the Lord pleasure, it's bringing him pleasure. So if I accept this all belongs to my father, and if I use it to please my father, I will actually be happy. That's the point. And that is still a mundane example. Here in that case, even if I do that, I'll not be happy. But when I see it beyond that this is my supreme father, Krishna, everything belongs to him and I will serve him with everything, then our soul will actually be happy. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, one has to take shelter of the light of the Lord. How will this illusion go away? How are they able to discuss this? Because we are discussing scripture. When we read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, then this illusion is going for us. Because we came into Krishna consciousness, we are now understanding these things. Before that, we were clueless. Prabhupada concludes this purport by saying, any living being, beginning from the Brahmas to the insignificant ant, are all born in darkness, and they require factual life from the Lord to see Him directly, just as the sun can be seen only by the direct light of the sun. No lamp or man-made torchlight, however powerful it may be, can help one see the sun. Yes? Most of you are out. The sun reveals itself. Therefore, the action of different energies of the Lord or the personality of God in Himself can be realized by the light manifested by the causeless mercy of the Lord. Not only Brahma, but anyone who may be graced by the Lord to see such merciful direct internal energy can also realize the personality of Godhead without any mental inspiration. We started with this point of mercy, we are concluding also with this point of mercy. Prabhupada says here, by the causeless mercy of the Lord. Causeless mercy. Causeless mercy means उसका cause नहीं है. But how can we attract this kind of mercy of the Lord? By taking ownership of our spiritual life. Not just by telling you, Lord, please be merciful to me, please be merciful to me, please be merciful to me. By acting in such a way so as to get the mercy of the Lord. Like we discussed, the austerity of devotional life, the penance of spiritual life, getting up early in the morning, chanting, removing time for my spiritual life, altering my lifestyle so that I don't work like a donkey. Altering my lifestyle, I'm not busy like a donkey morning to night. And I actually have time for my spiritual life. After coming to this Krishna consciousness movement, and after that also, thinking that I'll have this position or I want to do this and working hard like a donkey and just managing by 16 rounds or something. It's a very unfortunate situation. A lot of people will say, हाँ ठीक है, दोनों चीज़ balance होना चाहिए. But if we really want this life to be our last life, if we really want to be happy in this life, we must give priority to our spiritual life. That doesn't mean we have to quit everything, but at least we have to have that much guts. I don't need to work for 16 hours, 18 hours and 12 hours. I will work for this much time so that I have time in the morning, I have time in the evening, I have time on the weekends to perform devotional service, and Krishna will still maintain peace. Now I am working like a donkey and Krishna is maintaining me. If I give more time to Krishna, He will not maintain me. Prabhupada says, Krishna is feeding the ant, he is feeding the elephant. He was feeding you before you became a devotee. Now that you become a devotee, you think what, Krishna will not feed you? What is that verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, I am equal to everyone, but I am more partial to the devotees? Tapam sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priya ye vajanti tu mam bhakta vaiteteshu chapyam. I am equal to everyone. I don't ever envy anyone. But in the same verse, Krishna contradicts himself. Ye vajanti tu mam bhakta. What if you are a devotee of mine? Vaiteteshu chapyam. You are very dear to me. So if I am dear to you, then that means you are not equal. Yeah, I am not equal. I have a special CCTV camera screen just for my devotees. I have one for everyone else and I have one for devotees. And I look more here. ये ऑटो पायलट पे मैंने दे दिया माया देवी को, वो मार रही है आप सबको, पर ये लोग का आई हैव सीन. सो देन वेयर इज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ नहीं नहीं यार को भी प्रैक्टिकल नहीं, मुझे इतना तो करना है, मुझे ये पहुंचना है, फिर ये पहुंचना है, फिर ये पहुंचना है, और उसके बाद क्या? उसके बाद अच्छे से भक्ति करूँगा, उसके बाद मैं अच्छे से भक्ति करूँगी. It is there, it is for all of us. These purports are meant for those who are serious in their spiritual life. Prabhupada's books actually cannot be used for balancing material and spiritual life. If we really want to follow Srila Prabhupada, we have to have guts. And I'm not going to just go on like this. And I'm going to make some fundamental changes in my spiritual life, in my material life, to benefit my spiritual life. And then the causeless mercy of the Lord will come. Okay, Pairi, any questions? Yes, Sri Prabhu.
So, Prabhuji, we read now that Maya Devi is also the energy of the Lord. Yes, she is connected to the Lord. And so, in Bhagavad Gita, we study that these are the superior energy of the Lord. So now we are fighting against Maya Devi. How are we superior? Because we are anyways having no control over, and we are always influenced by the devas.
So when we come in this material world, we get marginalized. And that's why we are called the marginal energy of the Lord. By nature, the soul is spiritual energy. But when the soul accepts a body in this material world, we are known as the marginal energy, Tataksha Shakti. And so then, Krishna's external energy can empower us. But if we take shelter of Krishna's internal energy, then that overpowers the external energy. And then the marginalized state becomes more towards the Antaranga Shakti, the spiritual energy of the Lord, the actual nature of the soul. And all the layers of the soul, pride, illusion, envy, attachment, all these things, they get uncovered by Krishna's spiritual energy. That's the process of devotional service. So the more we are connected to Krishna's spiritual energy, the more our marginalized position is this side. The more we turn our backs to Krishna, the more our marginal position is toward that side, and then we are overpowered as spirits. Yes, Agando.
Nitya Siddha and Nitya Mukta.
नित्य सिद्धा नित्य बताओ जी. नित्य सिद्धा मतलब जो इटर्नली लिबरेटेड है. तो वो जब मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में आते भी हैं तो हम पे ये रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस ऑफ मटेरियल लाइफ नहीं एप्लीकेबल होगा, पे कर्मा वो सब नहीं का प्रभाव नहीं होता है. जैसे प्रभुपाद जी आए तो प्रभुपाद जी के लाइफ में कर्मा का कुछ प्रभाव नहीं था क्योंकि वो शुद्ध भक्त थे, भगवान थे. तो प्रभुपाद बोलते भी है, नेवर इन माई लाइफ वॉज देयर एवर अ टाइम वेयर आई फॉरगॉट कृष्णा. क्योंकि वो स्टार्टिंग में कॉलेज भी गए, गृहस्थी में भी थे, और फिर ऐसे लगता है कि 1922 में जब वो भक्ति से अंदर से मिले उसके बाद उन्होंने कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस दिया, पर ऐसा नहीं है. उसके पहले भी कितना वो प्रभुपाद बताते हैं कि मेरे फादर पूजा करते थे, मैं हमेशा इंद्र प्रभुपाद ने रथ यात्रा किया. सो दीज ग्रेट पर्सनैलिटीज, सम ऑफ आवर करेक्ट गुरुज, दोज हु हैव डन लाइक अनबिलीवेबल थिंग्स लाइक गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज, सो मेनी, दे आर नॉट ऑर्डिनरी पर्सनैलिटीज. तो ये जब भगवान की इच्छा होती है तो ये आते हैं और ये अपने पार्षदों को लेके आते हैं. वैसे प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं, मेनी ऑफ यू आर सेंट बाय माय गुरु महाराज. इसका क्या मतलब कि भगवान ने, मेरे गुरु महाराज ने सोल्स को स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड से भेजा यहाँ पे सेवा के लिए, तो दीज आर इटर्नली लिबरेटेड, तो ये नित्य सिद्धा है। साधना सिद्धा वो है हम सब जो यहाँ पर है और हमें यहाँ से निकलना है, और उसका प्रोसेस क्या है? साधना। हमें उतना टेस्ट नहीं है स्पॉन्टेनियस डिवोशनल सर्विस, राधा मुखा भक्ति नहीं है कि वह, जैसे लोग बोलते हैं ना, हम माला नहीं करते, मन में चलते रहता है, मेरा चलते रहता है, भगवान का चलता है, वो जो चलते रहता है वो, then we achieve perfection in life, then that happens, that is called as raga huwa bhakti, then it is all spontaneous, then I don't actually have to follow any rules and regulations, then I will constantly be chanting, I'll constantly be thinking of Krishna, I'll constantly be talking of Krishna, but none of us are in that stage. Therefore every day we should open Bhagavatam and read, every day हमें भगवद गीता बोल के पढ़ना चाहिए, रोज़ हमें माला जपना चाहिए, 16 माला जपना चाहिए, ताकि हम, ये हमारा साधना है, तो ये साधना से हम सिद्ध होंगे, वी विल गेट लिबरेटेड बाय दिस प्रोसेस ऑफ साधना, तो वी आर साधना सिद्धा। और तीसरा है कृपा सिद्धा। हो कृपा सिद्धा मीन्स जो कॉस्टलेस मर्सी, जो भगवान के मर्सी से या भक्तों के आशीर्वाद से हम आगे बढ़े, तो हमारी लाइन में दोनों चीज़ें चलती हैं। इसीलिए हम वैष्णव सेवा करने के लिए इतने उत्सुक होते हैं कि वैष्णव का सेवा किया तो द वैष्णवास as soon as they become pleased with me, no genuine Vaishnava will stand like this and say आशीर्वाद दो, मेरा आशीर्वाद है आप पे। जेन्युइन वही करेगा, वो सोचेगा कि मैं कौन होता हूँ आशीर्वाद देने वाला, पर अगर तुम इसे प्रसन्न भी हो गए, भगवान सोचते हैं अरे वाह, शंकरान प्रभु ने भास्कर मुझे प्रभु को प्रसन्न कर दिया, चलो माई ब्लेसिंग्स टू शंकरान वो। तो जो वली महाराज के सेक्शन में एक्चुअली यही होता है। वली महाराज जैसे प्रहलाद महाराज थे, भूम में उन्होंने पूरा भागवतम सुना, बाहर आके श्रवण कीर्तन विष्णु स्मरण पाद सेवा कर रहे थे, 5 साल की उम्र में प्रचार कर रहे थे। बली महाराज के केस में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था। बली महाराज के केस में क्या था, बली महाराज क्योंकि ऑल्दो वो डीमित थे, वो राइटियस थे, और क्योंकि वो प्रहलाद के ग्रैंडसन थे, तो प्रहलाद के हार्ट से ब्लेसिंग्स आए बली महाराज के, और जब प्रहलाद के हार्ट से ब्लेसिंग्स आए बली महाराज से, तो वामन देवा बली महाराज को उद्धार कर दे। तो वहाँ पे प्रभुपाद बताते हैं कि although I may not be qualified to give any blessings to anybody, but even if I sincerely pray for somebody, Krishna will convert that into blessings and help that devotee. तो अगर कोई आपसे पूछे, कोई कुछ करे, आपको बोले चंगा लो मुझे आशीर्वाद दो कि मेरा स्पिरिचुअल एवरेज रहा है, आप क्या सोचोगे, हाँ मैं कौन होता हूँ क्या आशीर्वाद दे, अगर मेरा खुद का ठिकाना नहीं है मैं क्या आशीर्वाद दूंगा। जेन्युइन डिवोटीज विल थिंक लाइक दैट। बट अगर उसने आपके लिए कुछ सेवा कर लिया, वैसे इन जनरल कुछ सेवा भी नहीं किया, पर आप देख रहे हो कि वो अच्छे से सेवा कर रहा है और आपके हाथ इतना अच्छा होता है, उतना ही काफ़ी है, भगवान उसको ब्लेसिंग्स में कन्वर्ट करके उसको नहीं, इसको बोलते हैं कृपा से। तो दिस इज अवेलेबल टू ऑल ऑफ अस, वी जस्ट हैव टू अवॉइड ऑफेंसेस टू डिवोटीज एंड वी हैव टू सर्व डिवोटीज, और हम सेवा करेंगे। वन ऑफ द सर्विसेज इज टू फॉलो द इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑफ द स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर। तो जो हमें बोला गया है, अगर हम उसका पालन करते हैं, गुरु परंपरा ब्लेसिंग्स मिल रही है, इतना इसका लाइफ में ये ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है, फिर भी ये सोना में कर रहा है, क्यों? क्योंकि प्रभुपाद ने बोला, फिर भी ये मंदिर आता है कि भी प्रभुपाद ने बोला, भक्तों ने बोला, आशीर्वाद देता। सो दैट एंड आवर साधना, दिस इज आवर ओनली होप, एंड आउट ऑफ दीज टू एक्चुअली दिस इज इवन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि हमारा साधना हमें पता है चल रहा है, ठीक है, हमें चलाना है उसको, एंड वी हैव टू डू इट इन अ वेरी नाइस वे सो एज टू अट्रैक्ट दिस मर्सी। बट सर्विंग वैष्णवास ऐसे बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, प्रभुपाद ने कितना कहा है कि मेरे को कितना प्रिय है बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, तो वो हम अभी सब करें। जैसे मैंने लास्ट टाइम बताया था, 3 ways we can participate in the marathon. One is we come on every Sunday with the devotees. Other is we utilize our salaries and donate for books to us. ascommunity.org/hikadasan. एंड थर्ड, हम हमारे सर्कल ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस में बांटे। ये तीनों चीज़ हमें करनी है, और ये तीनों चीज़ हम करेंगे प्रभुपाद की कितनी आशीर्वाद रही है. So this is how we interact है. ये तीन चीज.
But एकदम
नित्य कोई इटर्नली लिबरेटेड जैसे प्रभुपाद जी और वो आते हैं. नित्य पदा मतलब हम जो कॉन्स्टेंटली यहीं पर है, अभी तक हैं और अभी इस लाइफ में क्या कृपा मिली है हमें कि हम भक्ति में आए हैं. तो अभी नवे इसको छोड़ना नहीं. We should not try and compromise with our spiritual life and material life and make some patchwork going on. After a point, we should be determined. यादी कुछ भी हो जाए ये वो जैसे वो कहते हैं ना एसोसिएटोन लोग होते हैं. अगर एक पिक्चर है और 4 प्रकार के रॉक्स हैं, पहले क्या डाले कि सबसे बड़ा डाले, फिर उससे छोटा, एंड में क्या डाले कि पेबल्स डालेंगे, वो तो कहीं भी घुस जाएगा. हमें हमारे मटीरियल लाइफ और स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ को ऐसे लेना चाहिए. द रॉक इज द स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ. ये मटीरियल लाइफ को कहीं भी घुस जाएगा. स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं करता है. सुबह उठेंगे, साधना करेंगे, शाम को टाइम रखेंगे, वीकेंड्स को फ्री रखेंगे, यात्रा में जाएंगे, भक्तों की सेवा करेंगे, अपनी सेवा करेंगे, खुद जो हमें दी गई है वो कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं करेंगे. हाँ, उसके आसपास अभी जो टाइम है उसमें मेरा मटीरियल लाइफ चले, क्योंकि वो वैसे भी चलने वाला है. इट्स लाइक अ पेबल्स. वो कुछ भी करो वो कहीं ना कहीं जाके हो जाएगा उसका. सो दैट इज दिस कि देन सीइंग एवरीथिंग इन रिलेशन टू कृष्णा. To summarize again that slide. What was the first one? What were the 3 points? कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं हम लोग वो इनमें तो और मिक्सिंग इन द इंथर. First point was independent of Krishna is illusion. Then second point was what about Krishna's energies? Material and spiritual both are Krishna. And how to get out of this illusion? Reconnecting with Krishna. That is that of material world is real, but illusory when seen independent of Krishna. The Supreme Lord is the source of all energies, spiritual and material. Connection with the Lord dispels illusion and brings enlightenment. And this is what we discussed in this verse. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, as no reality, know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in Radharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Radhardushi Prabhupada ki jai, Geta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Rizai Gaur Devanande.